Hola, nuevos amigos! How are you doing today? What's new with you? ¿Qué hay de nuevo? I'm doing well, and I've been looking forward to seeing you this week. I've been busy preparing today's lesson for you, and I know we're going to have a great time together. Are you ready to get started? Great! Open your Spanish journals and get ready to write. Abran sus diarios de español y prepárense para escribir. ¡Empecemos! Let's begin! As explorers from Spain began to discover the natural features and riches of South America, they were impressed by the vast beauty of this new world. World in Spanish is mundo. El mundo. Repitan conmigo. El mundo. In 1498, Christopher Columbus was the first European to set foot on Tierra Firme, the mainland of South America. Tierra Firme was what the Spanish called South America before they began to name the regions. Later, in 1499, Alfonso de Ojeda led an expedition to northern Venezuela, where they explored the region of Lake Maracaibo, El Lago de Maracaibo. Ojeda and his party observed the indigenous people who lived in huts that were built on tall stilts at the edges of the lake. In Spanish, the word for hut is choza. La choza. Say it with me. La choza. Bien. Because of the resemblance between Maracaibo's villages on the lake and the canals of the city of Venice, Italy, the explorers were inspired to name the country Venezuela, meaning Little Venice. ¡Qué interesante! We will learn more about Venezuela's history, the indigenous people, and some of its modern culture in today's lesson. Now, let's discover our verb of the day. El verbo del día.
El verbo del día es traer, to bring, traer.
Let's conjugate the verb traer, to bring. Yo traigo, I bring. Tú traes, you bring. Él, ella trae. He, she brings. Usted trae. You bring formal. Nosotros traemos. We bring. Ustedes traen. You all bring. One of the tribes of indigenous people Alfonso de Ojeda observed was called the Warao. This group still exists today, living within the shores and jungles of the Orinoco River. Their huts, las chozas, which are built on stilts above the water, have thatched roofs made of grasses and hay with no walls. Roof in Spanish is techo. El techo. When you see the CH together in Spanish, it makes the sound of ch. It's the fourth letter of the Spanish alphabet. Say it after me. Ch. Now repeat after me. El techo. Correcto. Because there are no walls in their huts, the fresh breezes can move through their homes in the hot tropical weather. Wall in Spanish is pared. La pared. Let's say it together. La pared. The word for breeze in Spanish is brisa. La brisa. Repitan conmigo, nuevos amigos. La brisa. The Warao people sleep in hammocks. You can see how the evening breezes would be pleasant as they sleep in their huts without walls. The word for hammock in Spanish is hamaca. La hamaca. Say it with me. La hamaca. Una vez más. La hamaca. Great job. Let's listen to our first dialogue.
¿Qué traes en la canasta?
Traigo unas semillas.
¿Las vas a plantar?
Sí, para que crezcan flores.
How many new words did you recognize in our dialogue? Let's go over the dialogue together. Student number 1 asked, ¿Qué traes en la canasta? What do you bring in the basket? Repeat after me. ¿Qué traes en la canasta? Let me say it one more time. ¿Qué traes en la canasta? Good. Student number 2 replied, Traigo unas semillas. I bring some seeds. Repeat after me. Traigo unas semillas. Excelente. Traigo unas semillas. Next, student number 1 said, ¿Las vas a plantar? Are you going to plant them? Repeat after me. ¿Las vas a plantar? ¿Las vas a plantar? Student number 2 responded, Sí, para que crezcan flores. Yes, so that flowers will grow. Repeat after me. Sí, para que crezcan flores. Let's say it all together one more time. Sí, para que crezcan flores. Well done, nuevos amigos.
The shores of Lake Maracaibo, as well as those of the Great Orinoco River, are still populated today by indigenous people who build their huts, sus chozas, on stilts above the water. The Orinoco River, whose name means twisted serpent, flows through parts of Venezuela and Colombia. This great river is wider than the Mississippi and is one of the 5 largest rivers in the Americas. The Orinoco empties into the Atlantic Ocean, forming a wide delta made up of islands, islas, and marshes with their own rivers. These are the regions populated by the Warao people. Their name literally means canoe people. Interestingly, the Warao people who live in this area still keep a lifestyle that is similar to the lives of their ancestors from 500 years ago. The Warao still use canoes as their only means of transportation. The children are taught to paddle before they learn to walk. Children also learn the craft of basket making. The Warao's baskets, las canastas, are unique. They are made with fibers wrapped around a coil of a palm branch. The skills to make these baskets are passed down from generation to generation by the women. The boys and men contribute by gathering the reeds from the marshy areas near the coasts. The reeds are dyed with various colors and patterns, and the children assist with this task, as well as with the weaving of the baskets. The Warao use the natural resources from the land. Some of the tools they use are handmade. Each home has a fire pit made of clay that is used for cooking, and many of them still use spears and bows and arrows to hunt or fish. They use plants as medicinal remedies. Some Warao people that live in the interior of the Orinoco jungle don't want to adopt the technology of today's world. They know that accepting and bringing it to their villages would change their way of life that has survived for hundreds of years. Once a journalist from National Geographic visited a Warao tribe. While talking to one of the chiefs about his wristwatch, the chief explained to the journalist that all the watch does is measure time in people's heads by going tick-tock. He made the journalist understand that the Warao didn't need watches because his tribe kept time by the rising and setting of the sun.
Nuevos amigos, ¿cómo está todo? Espero que bien. I have a new dicho for you today, and I want you to listen closely and write it down in your diarios de español. Cada cabeza es un mundo. Now say it with me. Cada cabeza es un mundo. Excelente. This dicho translated to English means each mind is a world of its own. This dicho tells us that each person has his or her own ideas and opinions. Each person has a different perspective. Keep this in mind because someone else's ideas can be helpful when you run out of ideas of your own. Let's say it together one more time. Cada cabeza es un mundo. Take care, and I'll be back soon, nuevos amigos. Hasta pronto.
Each mind truly is a world, un mundo, of its own. We do think our own thoughts and see things through our own eyes. The great thing about so many different viewpoints is that we can help each other see things in a new way. I hope you will remember our dicho this week and use it. Now, let's learn some more new words. El conjunto. El conjunto. Ensemble. El conjunto. La temporada. La temporada. Season. La temporada. El instrumento. El instrumento. Instrument. El instrumento. ¡Excelente, nuevos amigos!
Yo traigo una cruz de palma bendita.
Yo traigo una cruz de palma bendita.
Me la dio.
Have you ever heard of gaitas? It's a traditional musical genre of Venezuela that features an ensemble, el conjunto, of instruments and a singer, though it can include more performers. It's called a banda de gaitas. We talked with Nayi Núñez, a gaitas performer, who told us more about this musical tradition.
The gaita is a rhythm. It's a type of music, including lyrics and instruments, played together for a typical season. Normally the gaitas include verses and lyrics sing to saints, because in Venezuela religion is very important. And most of the people, majority of the population are Catholics. So it's a moment to dedicate to the saints. If you want to sing a gaita or you want to be part of a conjunto, of a ensemble to play gaitas, you have to have a cuatro, which is a 4-string instrument, and like a small guitar. It's like basically the cuatro leads you through the melody of the song. You have to have a tambora, which is this one right here, and actually if you have a regular big band, you can have up to 3 tamboras at the same time, and it's a very, very key instrument if you want to sing gaitas or parrandas, because it gives you the rhythm, that rhythm that is so particular to the Christmas season if you want to sing the gaita. And the furruco is the third one, which is a key. If you don't have cuatro tamboras y furruco, you cannot have a gaita.
¿Quieres comer en mi casa? Sí. ¿Quieres que traiga un platillo venezolano?
Claro, trae algo sabroso.
Voy a traer cachapas.
Let's go over the second dialogue and practice our pronunciation. Student number 1 asked, ¿Quieres comer en mi casa? Do you want to eat at my home? Say it with me. ¿Quieres comer en mi casa? One more time. ¿Quieres comer en mi casa? Good. Student number 2 replied, Sí. ¿Quieres que traiga un platillo venezolano? This translates to, yes. Would you like me to bring a Venezuelan dish? Repeat after me. Sí. ¿Quieres que traiga un platillo venezolano? Let's say the whole sentence together. Sí. ¿Quieres que traiga un platillo venezolano? Very good. Next, student number 1 said, Claro, trae algo sabroso. This means, sure, bring something tasty. Repeat after me. Claro. Trae algo sabroso. Let's say the whole sentence together. Claro, trae algo sabroso. Perfecto, nuevos amigos. Then, student number 2 responded, Voy a traer cachapas. It means, I'll bring corn pancakes. Say it after me. Voy a traer cachapas. Now, let's say it all together. Voy a traer cachapas. Muy bien hecho. Very well done.
En la tierra. En la tierra siempre existirán millones de mundos con quien hablar. Cada persona va a contar sus propias ideas y luego se irán. Por eso en la vida has de pensar en buenas ideas para progresar.
This poem relates to today's dicho. It says that each person creates his or her own world. Each person will share their own ideas and then they will leave. This is why, in life, you should come up with good ideas so you may be able to progress and do well. Here are some more new words as we continue our study of Venezuela. Variedad. Variedad. Variety. Variedad. Popular. 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 Muy bien.
The food and art of cooking from Venezuela comes from a mixture of the European, African, and indigenous cultures. You can imagine the great variety, la variedad, of delicious foods that exist throughout Venezuela as a result. The proprietor, el propietario, Carlos Branger, of Zaguán World Cafe and Bakery, told us about the traditional dishes of Venezuela.
Some of the traditional Venezuelan dishes are the arepa, the cachapa, the pabellón, and the hallaca. And some of the sweet things are the bien me sabe and the cuatro leches. These are very, very popular and are part of the daily diet of Venezuelans. And they usually eat these for breakfast or for lunch, and sometimes even for a light dinner. They eat some of the arepas or the cachapas. The arepa is basically corn flour, and that is mixed with a little bit of salt, and is then cooked on the grill. And then that arepa is put in the oven, so it gets cooked also in the inside. Then we cut the arepa horizontally, open it, and put cheese or ham and cheese, beef and cheese, or chicken and cheese. Anything that you will think or like, you can put it inside the arepa. The pabellón is a traditional dish, meal that is made out of shredded beef, rice, black beans, and sweet fried plantains. Those are like bananas, but fried bananas. And this dish is very typically across Venezuela. And we put some ingredients also in the beans. Those are black beans, but we mix it with some bacon to give it a special taste. And sometimes Also, we eat this with a plain arepa, so we can eat the arepa with the pabellón. In some parts of Venezuela, also they eat the pabellón a caballo, which means like riding a pabellón, which is a pabellón with an egg on the top. The bien me sabe is one of most popular dishes in Venezuela, and this is made out of cake. It has cake in the inside, and it also has a mix of milk and condensed milk, and a very good ingredient, which is coconut. So it has coconut in the inside, and then on the top it has whipped cream and cinnamon. So again, we mix a lot of flavors: the milk, the cake, the coconut, cinnamon, and the whipped cream. That gives a very rich dessert. I know you all are familiar with the tres leches, but in Venezuela we make something different again, which is the cuatro leches. It's basically a tres leches in which we add the fourth ingredient, which is caramel milk. So the inside of the cuatro leches is cake, and then we make a mix with the milk, condensed milk, evaporated milk, and dulce de leche, and we put that into the container to make the cake very moist. And then on the top we put whipped cream with caramel milk, and on the top of that we put the caramel milk. Caramel milk gives it a very unique taste, and is very typical not only in Venezuela but also across South America.
¡Qué rico! Didn't that food look delicious, Nuevos Amigos? I'm ready to try an arepa. Ahora es tiempo para la composición estudiantil. Now it's time for your composition. Imagine that you are in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, during Christmas time. You are invited to become a musician in a gaitas band. What instrument would you play? What songs would you teach, even if they're not typical of Venezuela? And what kinds of stories would you share with the Venezuelans about your own culture or family? Challenge yourself and do your best. Did you enjoy the things we learned about today, Nuevos Amigos? Let's review our lesson, and you can write down anything you may have missed. The verb of the day was traer, to bring. And in our first dialogue, our students used the sentences, ¿Qué traes en la canasta? What do you bring in the basket? And traigo unas semillas. I bring some seeds. Our new vocabulary words included the terms el mundo, world, la choza, hut, el techo, roof, la pared, wall, la brisa, breeze, la hamaca, hammock. We also learned the words el conjunto, ensemble, la temporada, season, el instrumento, instrument, variedad, variety, popular, popular. Today's dicho was, cada cabeza es un mundo, meaning every mind is a world of its own. In our second dialogue, we used the sentences, ¿Quieres comer en mi casa? Do you want to eat at my home? And, sí, ¿quieres que traiga un platillo venezolano? Yes, would you like me to bring a Venezuelan dish? Be sure to write today's vocabulary words and your composition about being a member of a gaitas band in your diarios de español. Muy bien, Nuevos Amigos. I'm so proud of you. You've done a fabulous job. Han hecho un trabajo fabuloso. If you have any interesting information or fun ideas about Latin American culture and history, then I'd like to hear from you. Write me a message and have your teacher email it to me. Mándame un correo electrónico. The email address is nuevosamigos@dallasisd.org. Remember, when you learn to speak another language, you also make new friends. Acuérdense, cuando aprendemos más de un idioma, podemos hacer nuevos amigos. Cuídense y hasta la próxima.